Okay, here is the first shift, identity. This is the very, very basic and the most one of the most important part for the clarity shift. You need to first have the identity. So let's discuss identity. Identity first, right? This is the first shift. What is an identity? Identity basically is how you see yourself, how you define yourself. So, identity is something that can be built up through the environment, through your family, how you perceive yourself. So, identity is something which actually how you see yourself. For example, if you are with your family, you identify yourself as if you're a husband or a wife, that's how you act. If you are with your friends, you have a different behavior, right? Have you noticed that? If you are in your work interacting with your colleagues or with your boss, you identify yourself as this kind of worker. So you behave depending on what identity are you associated with. So identity doesn't mean that it's a fixed thing. It's something interchangeable. It changes depending who are you dealing with. Okay? So it's a function, right? So that is identity. So this is very important before we shift to the second and to the third. You need to first shift your identity. You don't earn 10K, you become the person who attracts them. Okay? So before you go towards to your goal, you need to shift first your identity. You need to see, for example, if you are a marketer, right? Obviously, that's why most of the, or you're a fitness guide or whatever function are you doing, right? Are you teaching? You need to be that identity. You need to have that identity first. Okay, so most people they are trying to scale from the identity of someone who is unsure, overthinking, or still in the trying mode. So that version of you cannot confidently sell or lead. Okay, so when we start to this online business, the reason with that is because we are in a problem, we are in a pain, right? We want to solve something, we want to solve our own situation. So we follow, then go to a course, we get into a program, and then you learn from it, right? And now you want to actually share that knowledge to other people for you to generate result. For example, you want to make a sale, right? You want to get to build a testimonials, for example. So, or if you are on the fitness guide and you want to teach people losing weight, you want to teach them how to lose weight. So you need to be the one who is actually providing the solution for a certain problem. Now, the problem is if you are unsure of that on yourself, your identity is not as a teacher, then there is a problem, right? So you need to be first identified as someone, as a teacher providing that solution, right? So this is very, very crucial. So you need to switch your identity. For example, when I did started with this online space, I went in this program and I was obviously I had a problem with financially. That's the first reason actually I went to the online space. It was taught inside the program where I was in is we need to have a CEO mindset first, meaning you need to have a growth mindset and solution. Someone who actually finds solution to any problem. So we need to first illuminate the mentality of a broke mindset who finds an excuse on every solution. Okay, so you need to switch that. So when I joined this program, we actually being taught that even though you don't have result, everybody didn't start with any result anyway. So you need to position yourself as someone who can solve a problem. So I found this program, and I need to switch first my mindset. So my identity as a CEO because that will be the that will be the solution. I'll be actually teaching how to make money online, for example. So starting an online business, before you can start and launch an online business, you need to be a CEO first, right? You need to understand the business. You need to understand how the program works. You need to understand all the basics, how to find your audience, who is your audience, all those stuff. Before we proceed on that, you need to first have that CEO mindset. So anyway, before we go further for that here, because we change that by choosing a new identity. Just like I said, identity is not something fixed. You can change it. We can change it, right? If you are a coach, you need to identify yourself as that. You need to identify as, I am a coach that people want to pay, right? Because if you are a coach, then you are a leader, you're a teacher. You have that solution. So you need to have that identity. You need to be confident in yourself. You cannot be a coach and acting like a student, okay? You cannot, because then that's where confusion start. That's where people are struggling. That's where people are getting stuck because of the misalignment of their identity. So or example, you are a creator. I'm the kind of creator who attracts aligned clients, right? Or no matter what solution you are actually giving, it's very important to have that identity, because that's how you gain your confidence. So we don't chase. So we don't chase after sale, we calibrate. Okay? And we attract people. So this is very important. A lot of people are skipping this, or what I saw on many programs, it's all about the strategy, it's all about the marketing, it's all about lead generation, it's all about those things, but missing the identity. That's why a lot of people are getting stuck, right? How can you provide those solutions if your identity is still unsure, is still not confident, right? It's like there is people, no matter how far you are, people will feel that, because it's the energy, the way how your behavior or how you will perform, even it's a written content, right? If you don't have that identity of someone, right, who is actually teaching that, it will reflect on your content. Seriously, you can see that. So who are you being? These are some key people you can see. If you see, this is Gary Vee, for example. Gary Vee he actually motivates people on grabbing all the opportunity, right? Doesn't give a damn about what people will tell you. You just grab the opportunity, no matter what age you are. You need to grab that opportunity. That is Gary Vee. He started as selling, informing people, teaching about people, educating people about wine. That's how he started. Excuse me. And grew up all the way about being successful, because he was stable with his identity. He started as a teacher, teaching about information about wine in the online space, and that's how he grew. This is Alex Hormozy. I'm sure you can see him mostly in social media. He is a fitness guy, but he is more a consultant he's also the co-owner of school. So he's a more consultant on strategic business. So he actually released a book, the $100 million offer, 100 million leads. It's all about marketing related. So if you see his content, it's all about marketing strategies, right? Lead generation. And people are listening to him because of their identity. You can see, right? Even though Marilyn Manson, I'm not sure if you know it, it's an old school thing, but he is on a metal band, right? So if you are on that genre, on that music metal band, people are following him, right? So if your identity is misaligned, for example, and you want to teach, for example, you want to teach an opera music, right? and you have the identity of Marilyn Manson, man, nobody will come to you. You will have an empty stage. No matter how good your product is, right? If you have this identity as a teaching pop music or something, people will run away. Okay, but if you're on the metal band, so if your product, if what you are teaching, right, is aligned with your identity, then people will be coming to you. You won't be chasing. People will feel that people will come to you. But if you have an identity and you're not clear of your identity, right, your messaging will be also not clear. Your messaging will be very confusing. So you need to fix yourself first before you can teach and help other people. So identity, you need to fix that. Okay, so it's not that easy. It's not that hard, to be honest. It's just a lot of people are overthinking and complicating things. And identity is just like I said, how you interact with people, how you interact with your parents, how you interact with your kids. If I'm with my kids, I'm like a small kid, right? So I am identified as a father. I function as a father with my kids. It's not faking it. It's how that works, right? An identity is a function. Okay. So if I'm with my 20-year-old son, I act different. You know, if I am my same as identity as a father, but if I am with my 3-year-old son, then I'm playing around like a 3-year-old. Okay, so the identity actually is the source of your behavior, right? So again, if you identify yourself as unsure, if you are identified as as you know that you're not confident, you are struggling in your you know you will be chasing people, right? Because your behavior will reflect on who you think you are, right? But if you don't see yourself as a problem solver, even though you don't have result, it's not just about the result. You build up result, you create result. With the right identity, you create result, right? You're not desperate. So the first thing with identity, another thing what is very important to understand about identity, it's a lot of people are not aware of it. So that's why I'm teaching you this course, because this really helped me a lot. Look at your identity, right? You check it out. What is your identity? It might be in your subconscious mind. Most of it is from the subconscious mind. How do you see yourself, right? The thing is, everybody can do this if you want to. Your one thing makes you able to transform. We human beings have the this what do you call it, the capacity to do anything what we want if we really want to. We have so much potential that's been sleeping inside. We need to wake that up, you know. So if you really want, if you think that you are not capable, then there's a problem with your thinking. It is not true. Just like I said before, thinking is mostly, a lot of people, they actually have this limiting belief embedded on the subconscious mind. We can reprogram that by shifting a new identity. Okay, you are capable. Everybody is capable, right? You need to lift that up. So you can see, I mean, if you see all the history of the successful market, Dan Henry he was a pizza boy, right? He was 7 years on a, not because I'm not saying that people who are delivering pizza are lower, but what I'm saying, talking about skills in marketing, everything you can learn, right? From a pizza boy, delivery boy, who actually become a multimillionaire, who's making 800K in one day, for example, just because learning of that skill. So everybody can do it, literally. Okay, so shift your identity, identify, look at yourself, go back, mirror yourself, right? You need to fix that first before you go to the next shift. Okay, this is very important because you cannot go to the second shift unless you fix your identity. Okay, so you can see, ask yourself, when you are posting, when you are pitching or providing values, who are you being? Are you a scared student or a powerful guide? Right? This is just a vision. Who are you going to follow to? Are you following this guy or this 6-year-old boy? Right? This is an embodiment of confidence, and this is an embodiment of fear. This is a fearful identity, a desperate, and this is a preacher identity, right? So people will come to this boy, even though he's young, and even though this guy is older. Obviously, your identity attracts. It's a magnet. You don't need to chase. You won't be chasing. People who are chasing are only people who are lacking confidence, because you don't have that confidence. Your identity is on a struggle mode. You need to chase, right? And the more you chase, the people run away. That's how it works. But the more confident, the more if your identity is fixed, people will be changed. If you are a problem solver, if you have that identity, obviously people will smell that, people will see that, so people will be coming after you. Okay, keep it simple. That's how it works. So, are you a teacher or a student? Right? Are you a doctor or a patient? Are you a leader or a follower? Right? So, if you want to if you want to cure a disease, right? For example, as a doctor, you want to cure a disease. You cannot act as a patient, right? You need to identify yourself as a doctor. You need to identify yourself. You cannot identify yourself as a patient, and then So the identity is very, very, very crucial, right? Please take it serious, right? You will see the changes, because confidence converts faster than captions. No matter how good your caption is, it doesn't matter. Your identity will actually, people feel that. You can see, that everybody's promoting this and that. I will give you an example. If you are in one program, right? No matter how good the program is, do you think everybody's successful because of that good program? No. You will see people even promoting shitty program, but they're being successful. Right? It depends how you develop yourself, how you see yourself. Because your identity will also dictate how you develop, how quick you develop. Your transformation is dictated. The process of your transformation is dictated by your identity. Okay? So this is it's the root of your tree. Your identity is your root. Right? And from there, we will go to the second shift. So take this seriously. If you have questions, right, just link me up, and if you are struggling with that, just give me a call, But this is actually, it's very, very simple. Don't complicate it. So in the next video, let's talk about how to simplify to scale. So again, first, do your identity, fix your identity, and then we will go to the next shift. So I will see you on the next video.